Dog's ready. We're ready. I don't know if they're ready.
Ready?
You ready for this? Well, hey there. Thanks for joining us today on the Bear Good Fruit podcast. My name is Ben.
And I'm Julie.
And we're excited to be back. I know we're not as regular, weekly as we maybe have intended on being, but
yeah, we started off really strong, getting it, recorded every Tuesday. And then more stuff and planting a church comes up than in the
Who'd have
beginning.
thought?
Who would have thought?
There's more responsibilities.
Yes.
More things happen, more things to prepare for. But I do think these conversations are valuable, at least to me.
I think so. I find them very valuable as well.
I enjoy talking to my wife.
Yep.
And so this carves out intentional time where we get to talk.
Like date time.
Does it?
No.
I count all the times with you as date times, but I know that I gotta be more intentional. Men, be more intentional about dating your wife, taking them out. So, but if you have the luxury of sitting and having a conversation about a topic, that works too.
I say it counts.
Okay, it counts. Yeah. Awesome. High five.
Just give me a coffee later.
You're just kind of
win-win.
Watching us date right now. That'd be awkward.
Now you made it awkward. Okay. Well, as we normally do, shall we start with a game?
We gotta have a game.
Okay. So later, we're going to talk about treasures.
Yes.
And so we thought a fun game would be to see if we know the prices of earthly treasures, of different treasures that people find valuable, or just different items.
Oh man, fun fact about me, this might be, I might be unleashing or revealing too much, but I used to watch Price is Right as a kid with my grandma, and it was our cool time during the summer to hang out together. So I have maybe an advantage in this game.
Maybe if inflation wasn't a thing, you would have. I think the prices
in the 90s were a little different.
Were a little different than now. But let's see. So you have next to you a little notebook that we're going to use as a whiteboard, and I have one as well. And I cannot see the answers to these. It's all at the bottom of my phone. So we are going to write, I think there's 5 questions.
5 questions.
What price we think each of these things are. So the first one is... Are
you one of those that number their paper before?
As I go.
As you go?
Yeah.
Because you don't know how big the answer is going to be?
Yeah.
I used to number, 1 through 10 for the quiz. Mm. So maybe I'm
ready.
Yeah, I'm
prepared. Okay.
We're good.
All right. It is guess the cost. The first one is a standard 18-count carton of large grade A eggs. 18, not 12.
You said, is this jumbo? Extra jumbo?
It said a large.
Large. Okay. Large. Grade A. Not organic or organic?
You're asking
free range?
I gave all the information.
There's so many factors and variables. Okay. All right. As you can tell, I question things. For 18 count.
For 18 count.
And this is current.
Current.
Okay. Not like last month.
Probably too high. I don't know.
Don't look at mine. Don't look at mine.
So the next one is the Tech Essential is what it says. Okay, a 12-month. It's giving us different things. The one was the weekly staple, was the eggs. Now it's the Tech Essential. Is a 12-month subscription to Spotify Premium. The whole 12 months.
12 months?
Yeah, so for the year.
Premium.
It says individual plan.
Okay.
What a 12-month subscription. I don't.
Okay.
I don't. Oh,
with tax?
I don't know. You've bought our Spotify. You have an advantage to this.
I'm gonna be rough.
For the year?
For the year. Mm-hmm. We have a different plan than the premium. We have a duo.
Oh.
Yeah.
Even more expensive?
I don't know.
All right. Now this is called the Dream Ride. How much is a 2026 Tesla Model 3? Base rear-wheel drive model before tax credits.
Oh, before the write-off part? Sales price, I'm going to say Model 3.
I don't know cars. I haven't shopped for a car in forever.
I think I got this. Hopefully they're playing along at home.
Yeah,
they have no idea what we're writing right now. I don't want to reveal my answers.
We have two more. Okay, the wedding bling. How much is a 1 carat round, brilliant cut diamond?
This is your house.
High quality solitaire setting.
1 carat?
Yeah, 1 carat. I know what you bought me a 1 carat 14 years ago.
It was a while. Yeah, it was a while.
How much would a 1 carat be now?
I wonder, do diamonds fluctuate like gold, like prices in the stock market or world market, whatever? Evaluates the price of gold.
I think it just slowly goes up every year. Yeah, it doesn't do the.
It could be 1,000-year-old diamond, but if it's 1,002-year-old diamond, it's more valuable.
I don't know if the age of the diamond. How do you check the age?
I have no idea.
I don't know if you can do that.
Not jewelry. If you are a jeweler and would comment below on how this pricing of diamonds works, that'd be great.
Okay, and the big league. How much is a 2026 Boeing 737 MAX 8 commercial passenger jet?
My pilot buddies, see what's up. You said 2026?
Boeing 737 MAX 8 commercial passenger jet.
I mean, there's so many of those out on the market used that that's all I
You research this all the time?
No. Oh man, I'm gonna say. Okay. Secret answer.
Know how much a jet.
I think I lost the cap. Oh, there it is. Found it.
I'm gonna be. I don't know. Okay.
All right, for the big reveal. Here we go.
Oh, should we just tell the? Okay, so I'm gonna. Okay, the first one was eggs. Oh, I'm off, and I do groceries. Right. Okay.
So my answer. Yeah. How should we do that?
Yeah. Say what you.
Okay. I remember last time I shopped for eggs, that it was around $5, but I wasn't sure if it was like $4.89. But I wrote $5.69 for an 18 count of eggs.
I put $2.55, but I think it's because I buy the cheapest eggs possible. So
that's true.
I'm trying to find but that was probably 12 medium.
You did say grade A.
Grade A, yes. So this is $4.15.
I went over.
You went over. So are we doing the price?
Yeah, we got to do the price right. I should have done $1. Well, I couldn't have done that, but all right, I'm wrong.
All right.
For what? $4.60?
Yes.
Oh, my first guess was close.
$4.15.
15. Oh, I was way off.
All right. So for the next one, the Spotify for the year, how much did you put?
I was assuming $12 a month, so $144.
I put $110.
Okay.
And the answer is, they did it monthly. $11.99.
$12. But I'm over by 12 cents. So you get that one.
Winning. Okay. All right. The third one was the Tesla.
Yes.
So, what'd you put?
We kind of peeked into this for a second.
We did.
I put $37,000.
It's more than that.
For the base Model 3?
Is the 3 the newest?
3 is the bottom level. The S is like the sedan car that's upgraded. So,
fun fact, I still cannot drive because of some neurological issues from 5 years ago. So our brother-in-law has a Tesla.
Yeah.
And he has been telling us, you should look at, not that we could afford it, but we should look into it just to see potentially if it could help with the areas that I struggle to.
Because it has the self-driving code.
Yeah, because of the self-driving.
Basically like your own chauffeur.
And we went and test drove one a month ago or so. It was really cool.
Yeah, Tesla, if you want to sponsor this episode.
Yeah. Not to you, but still my body didn't do great.
Yeah, it didn't work fully.
It didn't work for what my neurological needs were. But we did go look at them.
It was pretty legit.
I thought it was way more expensive. I put $72,000.
Hey.
It is. You're way closer. All right, it is $40,990.
Okay. Yes.
You got a point.
It's like that.
I went way over.
Which is, I mean, I don't know cars. I think
he was a car salesman at one point.
Yeah, but again, inflation, different era. But just personally, I don't feel the need in spending more than $10,000 for a car. But we caved on that for the last car. We bought our van, $16,000.
Big money.
And it was 1 year old.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, we getting a Tesla would be a stretch.
Yeah, for us compared to our, we have one car that was given to us for free, and then our van.
Yes.
Yeah, but you used to be a big car guy.
Oh, huge. Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was like your dream, is to have.
Well, my dream job was to be a stunt car driver. And all of my police buddies, please just disregard, but I used to have a 95 Camaro, and I would enjoy going sideways in this car in controlled spaces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You thought
and doing J turns and 180s and 360s even. It was fun, shifting from reverse to drive. It was good.
And this is what makes me nervous about having 3 boys that will eventually drive and have your mindset. Makes me nervous, Rick. Poor moms.
Teach them the right way.
Okay. Okay. Now on to a 1 carat diamond.
1 carat.
What'd you put?
I put $1,500.
$1,500. I put $2,300, and we are both very off. It says $5,500 to $7,000.
1 carat
for 1 carat.
No way.
That's what Gemini is telling us.
Well, you got that one because it's not. I'm sorry, Bob.
You haven't bought diamonds in a while.
I haven't bought diamonds in a long time.
More cubic
zirconium. Yeah.
People.
It can be
lab
remakeable. What is it?
No, it's
renewable resources.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, I mean it's not a rare thing.
Right.
1 carat is 5,000.
That's what it said.
Holy smokes!
Are you glad you don't have to propose right now?
Well, I remember the adage of when you were gonna buy your fiance, your presumed fiance, a ring, you got to spend 3 months' income was the recommended amount.
Yeah.
And so when I was in college and I coached for 2 or 3 months, I used that income to buy your engagement ring.
Yeah.
It's not $5,000.
That's okay.
And it was 1 carat. But it was what's the cut? It's the square.
I like the square cut.
Yeah.
Yeah. You did a good job.
Thanks.
It doesn't matter how much money it was.
That's right. And it worked. 14 years.
All right. And the last one, which I'm way off for the
Well, you're not even in the millions. That's when those. Well, it's also the equivalent of doing the $1 bid with a jet to bid in the 100,000s range.
So what'd you put?
I put 20 million.
20 million. That's much closer than mine. I put 300,000.
I mean, if you're bidding,
that's a lot of money.
That is a ton of money.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, what's a lot of money?
Yeah.
I'm not even close. It is $121,600,000.
That's so much money.
That's so much money.
121 million. I was 100 million off.
And you still won, though.
I win. I'll take it. All of our pilot friends are like, how would you dare bid $20 million for one jet? There's so many of these jets out there.
How does that much money exist out in the world is my question.
I don't know, man. We have a friend that's in property management and real estate doing big farm deals. And he just blows our mind with how these big institutions have so much money and they'll allot maybe 1% of their funds to buy land as their investment for their portfolio. And he's just astounded by the trillions of dollar accounts that are just for land deals, which is like 1% of their actual accounts, Swiss Bank and all those kind of big entities.
My brain just can't comprehend that many zeros. Like I don't know.
Well, I just kind of, I kind of turned to a little bit of a pessimistic side. So I grew up and I wasn't the most fond of the wealth in the nation, like wealthy people with a lot of stuff that indulged in things that were not beneficial for society. And so I can turn pretty quickly into man, how much good could be done with that much money when there's so many people hurting, but, the rich can get richer, the whole kind of mantras like that. But I don't want to turn into that. I want to be grace giving.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we're talking about treasures today.
Yeah, and before we go into our kind of like topic of the day, last time we forgot to do an update, so it's been a while since we've done any updates. So do you want to update? Yeah,
I don't know what to update from the last time we did an update is, but here recently it's been really cool. So we've been meeting regularly on Sunday nights, Wednesday nights and Sunday mornings at Tree of Life. And so we share space with Mott's Grove United Methodist Church right there on Sherrills Ford Road. And it's been really cool to see such deep growth with our people, our core team that have been gathering really consistently, to see people go from not being able to pray out loud to leading in prayer and volunteering for that. Folks that have never sung in front of other people to come on up front and lead in worship and co-lead in worship, and to welcome people, to be hospitable, to initiate in brewing coffee, or the things that kind of make our environment a little bit more hospitable and welcoming to the visitor or to the first timer. But yeah, so recently we collaborated with Mott's Grove United Methodist to do a fundraiser. Our fundraiser portions went toward our youth camp, the Awaken Youth Camp. That's going to be for middle schoolers in June that we're going to host.
Yeah, a little plug for that. It'll be for rising 5th graders to rising 9th graders.
Yes.
It'll be the second week in June at Mill Creek Middle School. And we are trying to fundraise enough so that we can potentially get it for free. We're hoping to get around 50 kids.
Yeah, you mean for people to participate for free? Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
For registration.
Yeah, registration would be just sign your kid up, and we're trying to do a hybrid of an in between, like a youth camp and a VBS. So it's every day you drop, students would be dropped off from like 9 to 1, but then they're picked back up, which is like the VBS part, but it's going to be hopefully as awesome and as energetic and deep thinking as a youth camp would be.
Oh, it will be. It will be. I love youth camp. It's one of the big formational moments of my life was at a youth retreat, where the presence of the Holy Spirit just grabbed onto my heart, and that really set the trajectory of my life. For decades, and even still today, it was part of forming who I am. So I take a lot of, not pride in this, but I just really truthfully enjoy creating a space for God to work in the lives of young people that could influence them in a positive direction for the rest of their life, which could affect their kids and their kids. And so it's a generational effect that could happen this summer. If a family is willing to send their kid and be part of this, it's going to be a kingdom effort. It's not just going to be our youth context, but it's going to be a community-wide thing. And so it's going to be fun, but also part of that is seminars. Also part of that is a lot of games, a lot of big team games, and then also a lot of upfront, funny youth games that you have to have. And
worship.
And of course, worship and prayer. Yeah.
So that's a little plug for that. So I'm sure we'll be talking about Awaken more and more. But the fundraising part of this past weekend of doing the yard sale was going towards fundraising for that, and it went really well.
It went good.
Yeah.
And then we met a bunch of people from the community. It was just beautiful to have conversations, to get people to know people's names, hear some of their stories, just to kind of let them know that there's kind, genuine people who love Jesus, who are gathering at this place, but also that are curious and loving and outgoing, just to kind of get to know how we can help, how we can serve, how we can love others the way that Jesus loved us. So
and the people who helped volunteer from our church,
all stars,
unbelievable. They were there. We actually got there a little bit later than planning, and I don't know, something when you're unsure of how is this gonna go. We have to arrive in the dark, start setting things up, and you arrive and there's already cars there waiting to volunteer.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's exciting that people want to help and want to be a part of stuff for this community. Shout out to all the people who gave up a long time of their Saturday to help put it together.
Takes a village, right?
Yep.
So it was cool to have a lot of people contribute to that. But yeah, we did a yard sale in collaboration with Mott's. What else? We are coming up to, this week is, not Holy Week yet, but next week is Holy Week. But this week is Palm Sunday. So we'll be doing a little step away from our training and our workshopping for just a couple weeks to honor the beauty and the power and the theology of Palm Sunday through Easter. And so, it's going to be incredible. I am stoked. I'm a nerd, but I love this kind of stuff. But to see, again, back to the growth and the amount of folks that have not really prioritized church in a long time or ever, to be part of this core team and to watch them grow and to thrive, and now to be hungry to read scripture on their own and to ask questions about it and to grow and learn. It's been so encouraging and confirming that we are doing the right thing in planning this church. And now we just hope and pray that God will continue multiply and to spread throughout our community with this amount of energy.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of need and a lot of brokenness in our community. So yeah, we just want the gospel to kind of saturate, but not just to be preached, but also to be practiced.
Yeah.
We want to practice the gospel.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Watch our community and our county change because of it. Yeah.
And it will. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's our update.
That's our update. And so yeah, I guess you are officially allowed to nerd out now if you would like to start the topic.
Yeah. So when you think of treasure, what do you think of?
I think of pirates.
Yes.
Yeah, that's just instant. That's
you know what the synonym of treasure is?
Synonym?
Yeah, there's a funny synonym that pirates like to call their treasure. It's the booty. Yeah,
pirate booty.
That's so fun.
You know?
Yes, there is a popcorn brand named Pirate Booty.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I just think that's a funny synonym that we have turned in our culture.
Yeah.
But I guess it can still be treasured if you want it to.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So yeah, treasure, that's what I think of. And I think growing up in the church, I've always heard like earthly treasure, worldly treasure, or your heavenly treasure. And so, yeah, and which one is good and which one is bad and all that. So
what would you say majority of the world, to be super general, treasures?
It's super general?
Yeah. Just the world in general. Like you said, earthly treasure, worldly treasure.
I think money comes to mind first. Like some of value, like our game, like things that if you can afford your own jet, that is not 300,000, millions and millions of dollars. Yeah, I think treasure is to have a lot of wealth, to win the lottery. Like you've gotten all the money worth. I think as a parent, there's a lot of times like I treasure this moment. Like I think people also treasure their family or treasure moments, not just always physical or money driven.
Okay. Yeah, I love that.
For you?
Yeah, I'm just kind of workshopping with you. For me, when I think of treasure, I obviously, because of our culture, grew up watching the movies or the cartoons, and you see the pirates and the Caribbean.
You saw the cat.
Oh, the cat. Dog is cliche.
Yeah.
Not cliche. What is it? Stereotype.
Yeah.
Chasing our cat.
The cat. Yeah.
But yeah, so watching the cartoons, watching the Goonies and Indiana Jones and stuff growing up. So of course, there is this treasure that represents something that one can either give you power, like the ability to curse the world, like the Mummy. That kind of power and authority, where you can dictate your will be done on earth, kind of a thing. So treasure is a means for power. Treasure is also a means for wealth and security. I remember the movie Sahara, where these guys are like doing everything they can to find this treasure so that they're financially secure and they can like acquire the things, the house, the toys, the lifestyle that you want. So talking about wealth, being rich, having the money, not having to fear if there's enough in my account when I go to the grocery store to be able to check out. That real life experience and that fear can drive someone to desire security, and the treasure could be a means to security.
Yeah.
Of course, there's the other kind of, I guess the definition of treasure is a wealth or riches that are stored up or placed in reserve, which is like the noun version. But also you mentioned the verb, that I can treasure these things in my heart, that there's a verb, an action of to hold something as precious. Sorry, can I have a drink? Thank you. My girl, always prepared. I was expecting water. That is not water.
That's Propel.
Oh, well, it's delicious. I just took me by surprise right there. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
But yeah, to hold something as valuable, the most valuable thing that you have in your heart, your mind, your soul is your treasure. I think that's what Jesus is kind of pointing to, and we'll get into the verses. But yeah, when I think of treasures, I think of just what someone values most, what someone prioritizes most above anything else. And so for the treasure hunters in the movies, the treasure was the thing they valued the most. They're willing to kill. They're willing to deceive.
Yeah.
They're willing to
abandon everything else in their life. Yeah.
Betray their own crew. You know, they're willing to sacrifice moral integrity, values, virtues for that treasure, for the thing they value more than those other things.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it tells of someone's character to understand what they value most in their heart.
I think sometimes we don't even realize what we value until our heart is without that object. And it's like, I need to do everything to get that again. Like, I need whatever I have to do. It doesn't have to be money wise, but like security or safety, or, you know what I mean? Like, that is something you treasure and you value, and you're going to do everything to make sure you get that back.
Yeah. And I think it's cool. We just did the yard sale because there's an old saying that one man's trash is another man's treasure, right? Yeah. And so we saw people just really loving, and I'm not trying to knock anything. I'm just saying the psychology of like, man, someone literally just donated this stuff. And of course, the proceeds are going to a good cause and a kingdom cause. But people finding value and worth in someone else who has just let go of this stuff. Now, to be fair, the people that donated and contributed a lot of these things knew that they were valuable. Yeah. And they were hoping that that value would bring more value to the church, right? Which is beautiful. We had a gentleman give autographed pictures of Hall of Famers. Yeah, that was really cool. Contributing that is a huge contribution. People donating treadmills and donating furniture, and neighbors getting involved. And so, anyway, I can break down that stuff later, but for people to come by that were strangers, that were just like, hey, I see something of value, something that I like, something that I may enjoy. This board game is going to give me time with my family. Yeah. You know, and so there's a redemptive side to this trash now converting into a treasure. So have you ever had something like that where you saw value in something that no one else or someone else didn't?
Oh my goodness, all the time in Buffalo. Yeah. So, fun fact, in Buffalo, on trash day, you can put out your whole house. Where we lived, there was not a, like, so here, if it doesn't fit in the trash can.
What was that?
My phone. Sorry. Yeah, if you, sorry, I got distracted. So here, Buffalo, whatever doesn't fit in your trash can, they will not take. So you cannot put it out on the curb. In Buffalo, me and my friend Sally knew on Tuesday mornings we are going to go look at the rich neighborhoods of what they've put out, because you could fill your whole front yard, and they literally would have front end loaders that would put things into a trash truck. So, I mean, there would be such good things. I mean, our whole house in Buffalo was either from Goodwill or from the side of the road.
That's right. Yeah.
I found all of our treasures.
Desks.
There, yeah. I still have some of the plates we used were from the side of the road.
If you've come over to our house to eat dinner, those weren't the plates.
Oh, yeah, right. Actually, they probably were.
But yeah, no, that's cool. I see the same thing, and I see the same thing in like cars. We have an old Jeep that doesn't work that my dad gave me. That was our getaway car. But when I think of, you know, cars that are thrown into the junkyard or discarded because they no longer work, but yet there are people that have the gift and the skills to redeem that treasure, to turn and restore this broken down vehicle, fix it, repair it, put new parts, new engines, new things, and then it builds value. And now those are being sold at Barrett Jackson, you know, or Mika Motto shows for, you know, tons and tons of money, you know. So yeah, I just think it's funny how treasure can change.
Yeah. And I think what we treasured as a child, like our kids treasure Pokemon cards or Play-Doh or, I don't know, slime. I can't stand slime. I don't know, just a little stuff like that like I have to remember. Like, I love to not have clutter, so I could throw things away all the time. But to remember our kid's heart and be like, oh, this makes Gabe sad when I want to throw away this stuffed animal, because he treasures it. He got it, and he remembers how he got it. So yeah, and I think our treasures obviously change as we mature and get older.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I think your world just gets bigger. I think your categories get bigger, and a kid, you know, and a teenager that's going through a breakup, and it's like the worst thing that could ever happen to them, and then truly can set them into a spiral and despair, not realizing that there is still hope. There is still, you know, a potential suitor later, in life that may come around in a better situation.
Yeah.
But when you're a kid, your world is this big, and $1 is $1 billion, and I can do so much with a quarter, versus as an adult, we know we can't really do much with a quarter anymore. But yeah, I think it's beautiful when we talk about value. Obviously, that's in the conversation with treasure. But when back to kind of what we were talking about earlier, what you value the most in your life is your treasure. And Jesus talks about, you have your Bible?
Yep.
Can I borrow it, please? I'm going to look up Sermon on the Mount because it's kind of a big deal.
I put on the cheat tabs.
I love it. It's going to help so much.
Maybe. Go faster.
Okay. Oh, you bookmarked it. You're so smart.
I'm on top of it.
Okay, Matthew 6. Do not, this is verse 19. Do not store up treasures here on earth where moths eat them and rust destroys them, and where thieves break in and steal. Store your treasures in heaven where moths and rust cannot destroy, and thieves do not break in and steal. Wherever your treasure is, the desires of your heart will also be. Talking about the cars that simply just rust. Yeah. And if you don't put the nurture, the care, and things like that, it can't be redeemed. But at the end of the day, it is just a car.
Right.
At the end of the day, the gold coins, the beautiful houses, the riches that this world could provide you, and the satisfaction or the happiness or those kind of things, just at the end, the clothes that we wear, if that is our desire, if our desire is to look a certain way, act a certain way, talk a certain way, ultimately it's going to fall short. Mm-hmm. It's going to go away.
Yeah. Right. We're going to constantly be pursuing the next thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what does it mean to put your treasures in heavenly things?
Because they're eternal. Because it changes versus this thing that can rust or die. If our hope, if our treasure is found in something eternal, then it's something that never dies off or never loses its value or decays of any sort.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what are some examples of things that don't diminish out in eternity?
In eternity?
Yeah. It's going deep.
No, like,
you're ready to go deep, y'all.
This is when you nerd out. Ask the question again. I guess.
What are things that are eternal?
That are eternal?
Yeah, that are eternally significant.
Oh, I guess the way that we impact others and a way that we impact the world for the kingdom of Christ.
Yeah.
I don't know. What are you looking for?
Yeah, I'm not fishing. I just love processing things out loud. And I'm not the arbiter of all truth. People have different opinions of what is eternal and what isn't eternal. I would even argue that physical bodies are eternal. And that's controversial because obviously we say we die, we go to heaven, and that's where eternity is. But the Bible was actually pretty clear about there is this resurrection that happens. Jesus resurrected in his body, and so his body is the physical body that he lived with here on earth is also his redeemed body, one of the same. And so how the metaphysics of all that is going to work, because atoms and molecules and things have been mixed up since the age of the dinosaurs, and people, it's complicated, but I do trust that there is somehow, some way, the God of all creation that started everything out of nothing, so to speak, that there's a way that we will be resurrected and living with him eternally, as Revelation 22 points out. But, and I know there's controversy over, is that literal? Is that figurative? All those kind of things. Ultimately, I just think that relationships are eternal. Yeah. I do, even though we might not be married in heaven, according to Jesus.
Never.
I mean, I'd still like to be your best friend in heaven.
Deal.
If that's possible. Okay. So yeah, but there's the covenants of, the restrictions of our relationships, boundaries of our relationships, may absolve in the reality of God's glory and how, awesome heaven will be. But when heaven meets earth and the new Jerusalem descends onto the earth and God is once again dwelling with the people, there is this beautiful excitement that we do need to care for creation.
Yeah.
We do need to take care of things because God initiated it, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know if that answers, but I think creation is partially eternal. because it's connected to God's existence.
Yeah.
Relationships matter. And I think our souls, our lives, our existence is eternal, not in a sense that we are immortal. That's totally different. But I do believe because of the resurrection, because of the hope and the salvation we have through Christ, the dog's back. Because of the salvation we have in Christ, that we are now eternal beings. And that matters, how we take care of ourselves. And Paul says, well, let me do this, but do you have any thoughts on that before I read a couple verses?
No. Well, I was going to ask you, like as a kid, I always imagined like storing up your treasures in heaven, that like I have this little treasure chest that like when I get there, I'm going to open it up and like there'll be this jewel and this because like I helped at a nursing home, and then there's this jewel because I served at my church, and then there's this gem because of it. Like, how do you picture you storing up your treasures in heaven?
Yeah, what a powerful way that is to communicate to a kid.
Yeah.
To motivate them and inspire them to live for eternal things. I don't think it's an exact one-to-one. I remember the same analogy or same example, different analogy of one of my Sunday school teachers that was like, think of this huge warehouse in heaven that you'll get to one day, and it's full of these boxes. Like I'm thinking of like Amazon, huge warehouse, and each box represents an opportunity that we had to bless someone. And my Sunday school teacher, this is before Amazon, but I'm just visualizing now that there's this huge Amazon distribution center. And all of these boxes were blessings that God wants to give us. And the times where we lived into God's will, when we respected someone, encouraged someone, we held a door open, even just when we gave generously to someone in need, when we prayed for someone, when we helped in whatever capacity, that unlocked, almost like in a video game, an achievement,
new level.
This jewel, like in your example, unlocked this blessing. And the analogy that my Sunday school teacher said, all of these packages are the things that will go into your mansion one day.
Right.
And so here's a chandelier, or here's the cool 80-inch plasma TV, whatever, when plasma was a thing. All the treasures that were to fill your house. But again, I still think as a kid, he was leveraging the fact that we loved those things.
Right.
And as a way to motivate us for our heavenly house, not our earthly house.
Right.
But it's still about the house. It's still about me getting entertainment and joy from these material objects versus the treasure being Jesus. There's this beautiful hymn that I didn't grow up with hymns, but I appreciate them. But there's a line in this that Jesus is our ransom and our reward. And someone can comment about what song that is, because I have no idea what song that is. I just heard that line and I was like, that's a good bar right there. Because Jesus truly should be our treasure.
Yeah.
And one of the verses, it kind of all ties in. And I hope you track with me, because I think way too fast, and I just jump around way too fast. Yeah. But for me, I'm super excited that it's all interconnected in this beautiful revelation that we have in the Bible, but especially through who Jesus is. But like Proverbs 2, it talks about, my child, listen to what I say. This is, again, reminds me of our Sunday school teachers teaching us the value of eternal things. Yeah. He's leveraging this child psychology of what is valuable to him to make him look to eternal things. It says, listen to what I say, my treasure, my commands, tune your ears to wisdom and concentrate on understanding. Cry out for insight and ask for understanding. Search for them as you would for silver. Seek them like hidden treasures. Then you will understand what it means to fear the Lord, and you will gain knowledge of God. For the Lord grants wisdom. From his mouth come knowledge and understanding. He grants a treasure of common sense to the honest. I love that translation by the NLT. And he is a shield to those who walk with integrity. He guards the path of the just and protects them, or those who are faithful to him. And so I love how he's saying, seek wisdom and understanding as you would for silver. Like as those packages in my heavenly warehouse motivated me to do good acts, because it's unlocking these gifts as that motivated you to see a jewel for that time you helped so-and-so, right? As you would search for those things, here the proverb is seek for wisdom and understanding and knowledge. Mm-hmm. Those apparently in the thrust of theology don't go away when it comes to eternal things. Mm-hmm. And so for me, wisdom is equivalent to more valuable than pearls, and pearls was the most valuable thing you could get. Mm-hmm. It's the best treasure you could ever have. And then fast forward, Paul calls Jesus the epitome of wisdom. That Jesus is wisdom in the flesh. Like the way he lives, the way he talks, the way he thinks, prays, the way he treats others, the way he acts, heals. It's just the wisest way, and that self-giving love. And so for me, again, back to where your heart is, like where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Mm-hmm. For me, I hope it's inspirational. I hope it's motivational. But when Jesus is your treasure, mm-hmm. it transforms your perspective and your life. And eternity doesn't wait until you die. Right. Eternity is here and now and forever. So I don't know. Maybe that's a mind vomit. But what's your take on that?
No, I think that's really good because I think it gives a bigger perspective. Because I think a lot of times when people talk about this verse, and it's helpful, it's not a bad thing, but they talk about like where your money is, like go look at your bank account. If you want to know where your value is, go look at your bank account, and what you're spending your money on is what you value most. Or I would say a lot of nowadays where you spend most of your time. Where are you spending most of your time? And how are you using your time wisely? And that shows where your value, or what your heart values a lot too. But yeah.
Amen. And I love that you brought that up because that gets more practical. I'm the abstract thinker that's way out in the cosmos. But when you bring up like, how do you determine what your treasure is?
Right.
Well, look at the bank account. Look how much you spend on things, which spending more of your money on the mortgage for your house, or for your home, or your family to be protected, provided for, sheltered, also to have a way to invite people to utilize that space for God's kingdom. Like just because you spend a lot on a home out of your percentages of your income doesn't mean it's a bad thing. But I guess the next question is, why do you spend it on those things? Mm-hmm. And so obviously we budget our money, we budget our time. Yeah. Where do you spend your time? Where you spend it the most likely reveals your treasure. But that's also hard too because most people spend their time at work.
Right.
And that's not their treasure.
Right.
But when they have free time, mm-hmm. when they're outside of their obligations toward, getting income, what do you do?
Or what's your mindset during those times? Like, say you're at work. Like, what is your mindset? Are you dreading this and just can't wait till the next? Or are you using it as an opportunity to bring people closer to Jesus, or live out the word in the moment? Like, if you are church doesn't have to be in the building all the time. You know what I mean? Like, you can be doing life and doing work and still, I don't know, fulfilling more than just work.
Yeah. Yeah. And if it comes across kind of cliche of evangelical Christians saying just help bring as many people to Jesus as possible, like, yes, but there's more context to when we say that means more than that.
Right.
But like when you go to work, are you nurturing your relationships? Are you spreading wisdom? Are you spreading love? Yeah. Are you spreading generosity? All the virtues and characteristics that Jesus embodied and modeled for us. Is that what you're doing in the world? Mm-hmm. Are you leveraging work time to extend compassion and grace in the world?
Absolutely.
And that's sort of what's built into when we say, are you doing this for Jesus? Are you spreading Jesus in the world?
Yeah.
That's the language that we're trying to communicate and try to, I don't know, just try to like break that down a little bit, unpack that. But yeah, are you spreading goodness? Mm-hmm. Or are you grumbly or complaining? Are you? Yes. Yeah. Oh, good example. Yeah, I was going to talk about. There's another verse, parable actually, that I wanted to kind of pivot the conversation because we talked about what we need to treasure versus what we do treasure. And how we determine what we treasure often is what you give your money toward, what you spend your time toward, your free time toward. And obviously, a lot of our generation invests a lot in our kids. We want what's best for our kids. Even though many of us had decent childhoods or really good childhoods, some of us didn't have great childhoods. But we just want always, and I think that's a beautiful sentiment, that parents want better for their kids than what they had, oftentimes. And so having the opportunities to do sports and hobbies and things that take a lot of money, take a lot of time. But the question, I guess, is why are you putting your kid in sports? Is it so that they can break all the mathematical barriers and statistical barriers and be that one that makes the money in the MLB or in the NFL and kind of can be the highly sought after recruit so that he has exposure or she has exposure to get that D1 scholarship so that they can be quote unquote successful? I would argue that's not a very wise investment of your time and energy or your funds. But if it's, I'm going to place my kid in the sports to learn how to have good character, resolve, to work together with a team, the relationships that are formed, the friendships that are formed on that team that can keep my kid accountable in the next season of life. If they're eternally focused, then I think that's a wise investment.
Absolutely.
And sacrifice of your time. But there's this parable that talks about this treasure that's hidden in the field. And I thought I was there, but I'm not there. Sorry. Keep talking. I think it's the next page.
So this parable is going to talk about how a person gives up everything for this treasure.
Yeah. Amen. Well, there's two.
Oh, is that not the one you were talking about?
You told me Matthew 13, and there is a lot of parables in this one, and I can't find the parable of the treasure in this one, but there is the same sentiment. There's a parable of a hidden treasure and the pearl. So here it is. The kingdom of heaven is like a treasure that a man discovered in a hidden in a field. In his excitement, he hid it again and sold everything he owned to get enough money to buy the field. And then again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant on the lookout for choice pearls. Remember, pearls and wisdom are synonymous in the Old Testament language. He was a merchant looking out for pearls. When he discovered a pearl of great value, he sold everything he owned and bought it. And so oftentimes, how do you translate that? How do you interpret that parable of a man selling what he had to own the field that had the treasure?
That you're willing to get rid of everything else for what matters most.
Yeah. As like we are the man in this parable.
Oh, you're asking where do I personally see myself as the man, and then the treasure would be what God provides for us, all the wisdom, all the knowledge, just all that.
Okay.
Is what I don't know.
I love that. It's a good. It's a good interpretation.
Put yourself somewhere else.
Sure, but at the same time, again, we model different perspectives. Are welcome to the table to discuss things in grace, in love, so that we can grow sharper and wiser and appreciate.
Because you told me this before. You don't see yourself. You see Jesus and God as the man who would sacrifice himself, right?
Yeah.
And everything for us, who we are the value, we are the pearl, we are the treasure.
Think about, what are you willing to give for a treasure? We talked about pirates.
Right.
Willing to sacrifice their own morals, their own relationships, their own families, betray their own people on their crew, like to acquire this treasure, right? And so for me, it reveals a lot. What are you willing to sacrifice to acquire the treasure?
Yeah.
And I have not sacrificed that much for my treasure. Right. I guess you can spin it out in different ways, but I'll tell you who did sacrifice a lot is the dude who didn't sin, who didn't do any wrong, who only taught wisdom and good things, who loved people that were on the fringes of society, that were not included in the large majority population groups, the lepers, the adulterers, the people that were on the outskirts, the tax collectors, the fishermen, and this one that gave his life as a ransom for the many, right? To reconcile all creation. So for me, when I read this, I also see the wisdom in the kingdom of heaven, which is what Jesus was. He was saying this, but he says kingdom of heaven so many times in the book of Matthew. is like a treasure that a man discovered hidden in a field. And the field he has used in other parables to represent the world. He talks about the wheat and the weeds being like the field is like his kingdom. So anyway, man discovered the hidden treasure in a field. In his excitement, he hid it again, protected it, and sold everything he owned to get enough money to buy the field. And so there's this one atonement theory called the ransom atonement theory, where the field used to be owned by the enemy.
Yeah.
Even though he didn't quite theologically own the world, he kind of rules the earth as if he does. And the treasure, which I believe is us, humankind, like his beloved. That's what it's quoted in John a lot. The beloved disciple, but also God so loved the world, right? His beloved creatures, his creation, his image bearers are this treasure. And the relationship that he has with these image bearers are his treasure. But so the man representing God or Jesus coming and discovering this treasure again, he hid it, protected it, sold all he had, gave his life, right, to purchase and acquire the field legally. You know what I'm saying? And that's a lot to unpack in a short parable. That's only 2 sentences pretty much. But again, the pearls backed up right back to that. I think there's so much wisdom in that as well. But again, this is part of the conversation. This is what we're inviting in our space for us to, one, sharpen each other, but also to challenge each other with different perspectives so that we can grow in wisdom.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, my treasure, I think your treasure, even though we both would do anything for each other, because our relationship matters and our love for one another matters and our love for our family and our community, it really does matter.
Yeah.
But our love for Jesus is the source for that love that multiplies. And so if you were to, ask us, or if you hopefully are on board with this, like, would you say that Jesus gives you the purpose and the hope and motivation and discipline to do all things, to live your life?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard sometimes.
Right.
It truly is to give all you have for that treasure.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, for us, it's kind of worth it. I see the eternal significance in that.
Yeah.
But maybe I nerded out too much there.
No, you're good.
I don't know if it tracks.
I think it's good to bring different perspectives, because I'm definitely hearing that parable growing up. I think I was only taught the one perspective of that's what we need to do, and this is what we need to achieve in that. But I mean, it's the story of the gospel right there in a 2-sentence parable.
Amen.
Yeah.
And there's also good fruit that comes from your perspective.
Yeah.
But also I'm trying to also encourage people to realize they might be doubting their self-worth. They might be questioning their own salvation. They might be anywhere in a number of ways, feeling distant. But to know that Jesus sees you as his treasure,
right?
That he's willing to give his life for, everything he has, sacrifice for me, that assurance and that grace gives me a sense of peace that overcomes all the problems and challenges that this world could throw at me. Like, it's been hard. This season that we're in is hard. We're burning at both ends of the candle, and hopefully it's a season as we kind of build a team around us that can kind of share in the load, so to speak.
Yeah.
But it's hard, but at the same time, it's so worth it.
Absolutely.
Put life on pause and focus on kingdom stuff, because I do believe this thing is an eternal thing.
Yeah.
It eternally matters. It's going to change lives eternally, make an eternal impact. So, yeah, we'd be foolish not to invest all we have to do what we're doing.
I think that's a good wrap up right there.
How you feeling?
I'm good.
I talk too much. I'm sorry.
No, you don't. You did great. You did great.
But yeah, we hope that whatever perspective you take on Matthew 13 bears good fruit in your life.
Yeah.
And that hope your treasure is in Christ. Or at least you evaluate what your treasure is.
Yes. And that equips you to go and bear good fruit this week.
Amen.
Have a good one.